Okay. Folks, it's Ed with Iridium Solutions and the Iridium Group. We're doing part 2 of the freezing our kit, our medical kit test. Today it's like minus 20 something. Wind chill, there's a good wind, 40 to 60 km/h winds all last night and this morning. So we're somewhere like minus 20 now with the wind chill. Now I left this can out here yesterday, this metal, so that we could actually scan it and see what the ambient temperature, minus 24.2 Celsius. So we know that everything inside this kit is about minus 24. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna break it open and test some of this stuff out, make sure that it all still works if it's been frozen, make sure we can get into the case, make sure the case integrity was tight, if it had to get submerged and frozen, if we can, we can still use it. So this is actually good and truly frozen from yesterday. I poured water all down the hinges and all down the locks, and then just sort of walked away from it yesterday, and then we're seeing how it is now. Okay, so first test, we just get into it. Oh, yep, a little bit of work in it. Might need a tool. There you go. Okay, so just breaking the ice, that worked. Opening it up, let's see what we got. Oh, it opens up just fine. All right, so tight on the inside, dry. Yeah, everything's dry. So it's at minus 25 Celsius here. There's a couple of things, a couple of considerations. First of all, you might notice that everything in this kit is all still in the packaging. Now, we sell them this way, but one of the big reasons why we don't want it all to be in the packaging is because if you're in the middle of winter, right, and presumably cold and stressed out and something bad's happening, it's not the time to have to try to dig this cat tourniquet out of its packaging, especially not with gloves. My fingers are already going a little bit numb because I'm just wearing these mechanics gloves. So I wanted to give you that sort of thinking point. Like, this stuff should be pre-staged so that when the conditions are the worst, when your fingers turn into flippers and when you can't feel anything or you can't see anything or just whatever's going on, this is easy to find, easy to apply. Okay, so that being said, let's test to make sure that this will work. If you do have one of these that's in the packaging and you need to like extricate it in a hurry, use the windlass to rip it open. So basically break like that, okay, and then dig. That's what you're gonna do to sort of in an expedient situation. It's not as fast as having it already done, but it gives you a little extra there. Don't worry, I'll clean up the garbage later. These things come pre-staged to apply. So let's go ahead and get this bad boy on me. The thing about the pre-staging is it doesn't include the tip being folded back on itself, so it's easy to grab in gloves, which isn't a consideration if you live in Florida or if you're in Iraq, but it's a real consideration if you're north of the 59th or 60th parallel. Okay, that's good. I'll be honest, I didn't expect this tourniquet to fail on application. Okay, so the tourniquet works. The kit comes with 2. I'm only going to take 1 out of the packaging because I think we can assume that it works. The shears are still in their packaging. I have no doubt that they're going to work, but again, I'm going to have to be ripping this with my teeth because I'm already losing sensation in my fingers. And on this side, not just from this thing. Okay, we have our wound module. This is all gauze and gauze-like things. So I'm going to have to do without gloves. I'm going to sacrifice my fingers for you. You're welcome. All right, so breaking into here, 2-inch cohesive bandage. These are supposed to be temperature insensitive, so they should still work in the freezing. Remember, it is 25 degrees below 0 Celsius right now. You can hear the wind. Hopefully it's not affecting the microphone too much. With the wind kicking up, it's probably more like 29 below 0, right? So what I'm trying to see is if I put a lot of pressure on this cohesive bandage, if it works or if it breaks. One of the advantages to starting with higher quality gear and equipment is when you're in a scenario that is not optimal, like you're not in a classroom, you're in the real world, the stuff that starts out a little higher quality tends to work a little bit better overall, okay? So that cohesive bandage was successful. Yeah, I really can't feel my fingers now, so that's fun. What else do we have in here that might be compromised? Gauze. Well, gauze is going to work, but here's something. Tape card. So this is, we use 3M, genuine 3M Canadian-made duct tape for these cards, which we make here. And all we do is we take them off the duct tape roll and wind them onto cards so that they're flat, all right? Now, it's just an adhesive on here, and whether or not it's going to work in the freezing cold is a thing. It's a real question. So let's just test this out. We're going to use this duct tape to cover this cohesive bandage. It doesn't like to stick to it. Let's see if I can make a duct tape dressing. Okay. See if it'll at least stick to itself. If it will, that's a good sign. Okay. Again, it's been frozen overnight, so it's not like it's warm. We're messing with it as much as we can. Good news, it is readily adhering to itself. That's enough. So that's great. The duct tape works, the tourniquet works, the cohesive bandage works. The duct tape, the duct tape mostly works. It's losing a little bit of it. Yeah. But we'll give the duct tape like a 60%. All right, so the rest of this stuff is petroleum jelly and gauze. We expect that stuff to be fine. I am seriously cramping up here. The combination of not having blood flow and the extreme cold is going to play havoc with your hands. I can't feel it, and it's really weird to operate right now. So just note that that's part of dealing with an emergency situation. Our burn dressings, it's hydrogel inside them, completely frozen. So if you have a burn right now, you're in trouble. Okay? Most of the rest of this stuff is very temperature insensitive. The other question I would have would be these chest seals, pretty much frozen. So I know some of the other chest seal manufacturers are going to have their hydrogel rate to lower temperatures, and that's a consideration. But what it means is some of these things, kit items, you might have to pre-warm before you can use them. That adds extra time and complexity. So on the bright side, the kit worked. It protected the contents, and for something like massive hemorrhage to an extremity, we're readily able to solve that problem. I still can't really operate this hand, but you notice I'm not too stressed about it, right? Because if that had been the difference between bleeding out and having a weird sensation in my hand, what's my obvious choice, right? It's getting the tourniquet applied and then moving on. Duct tape, yeah, good to go. Cohesive bandage, good to go. The kit's got other items in it, which we can talk about in more detail later, but really what this test was is, can this kit be frozen and then opened up and deal with a life-threatening injury really quickly? And the answer is, for the scenario, for the adversity that it's facing, yeah, but is it better to have something pre-staged on your body that is benefiting from your body heat all the time so that it's, in its operating temperature? 100% it is. Okay. So I'm not sure how much more we can go into that. This is as far as I'm concerned, this is a success. As you can see, there's